In 2008, my family moved from Uganda and settled in Canada. We experienced so many hard things when we got here. English was our number one problem. It was very difficult for people to understand what we want, and at the same time it was hard for us to understand them. We didn't know anybody in Canada. The food is different, the climate is different, everything was a new life experience for us. A question came in mind. Does everybody that moved to Canada face the same problems? I asked Richard Liberio, who moved to Canada 8 years ago. Richard and his family members moved from Sudan to start a new life in Canada.
When it comes to education-wise, education is good for those who have the money. If your family is wealthy, you're most likely to get the best education ever. But if your family not, you gotta go through a lot. And the school goes to 8 until 1 o'clock, sometimes goes till 4 o'clock, depends on which school are you in, elementary or high school, or you're in college. Government is corrupted, that's all I can say. And the way I look at it, who was running the country, it's been there for almost 20 years. And that's the way I look at it, that's not how countries should be run. And that's why there's too many conflict between each part of Sudan. And the poverty in Sudan, education, all these things come into it. So he knew that if we stick there for long, we won't have better future. We won't get that future. So he decided, and now we're here.
Canada is a very peaceful country, but it can be very challenging for newcomers because with English being their second language, they have to learn everything from the beginning.
Process take about 2 years. If you like it, sometimes it can take a year. And it goes like this, as soon as you arrive, because like when we were in Egypt, we counted as refugees, even though you're renting your own place and you do your own thing, but you still count as a refugee. So there is a UN, which is you go there, you put your case in, you tell them what happened to you, and then they will decide. They will see your case, if that case is strong enough. If you make a strong case, and then they'll be like, okay, we see from what we get from you, we approve you. Or else you can get rejected, but you have a right to appeal, which is appeal that case again. And that's, in our case, that's how long pretty much took us. Like we got denied first, and then my dad appealed, and then after that, the appeal went through, and it took about almost 2 years. And in terms of paying, I believe it's about 2,000 per person, and that's if you're underage, you're not supposed to pay it. Your parents are signing for you. But if you're overage, you have to sign it for yourself. So if you came here, you're 18 already, this government will give you a form. You fill that up. Technically, you're adults. So, and you have to pay that money before you apply for your citizenship. We picked Canada because my uncle actually was living in Toronto, and he was here a long time ago. But personally, I was hoping for Canada because, like, my best friend, he came here before me. So it's like, I'm like, oh, come on. I'm just, I got no choice, but my dad don't have to choose it. So I'm like, come on, Canada, Canada, Canada. I heard it is cold, but I don't know how cold it is. Plus, they say Canada is the best place to be, other than States, Australia, or the other places, because in terms of schools, they can provide really good education, and people here are helpful, and there's a lot of opportunities in Canada. So I'm like, well, if that's where it's opportunities, well, I might as well go try my best there. When we came to Canada, we don't know nobody except for my uncle, which is his where, Toronto. We spent a day with him there. From there, we took off. We came to Saskatchewan. We arrived to Saskatoon, drove to PA. I don't know where I'm going. Everybody's speaking, only people I can understand, which is in family. You know, people can pick us from airport, saying hi, hi, you know, just looking there like a dummy. You know, you say hi, hi. That's all about it. Language, it was become a problem. And the main problem thing is like, I don't know nobody in PA.
A lot of people think being a DJ is just pressing a button on the mixer and letting the music play. Richard, who goes by the name of DJ IceFlow, explained what it takes to become a DJ.
I'm not really big fan of bars, like, but one day we went out here and the music was playing. I'm like, what is this? Because I've been in different places and like the music they play, you know, you can dance into it. But what I seen here, especially in Prince Albert, is way different. So that's what made me become a DJ. I'm like, I want to be a DJ here and do it differently, you know, and play each kind of different music, because all they play like all songs, like, you know, which is nothing wrong with it. As a DJ, you gotta play variety. And I see that, you know, people become going there to get something new. So you don't want to stick with one thing only. And what it takes to become a DJ, it's, for me, it's just, I took it as a hobby. I took it as a hobby. I listen to a lot of music and I just touch in here many softwares. So learn it, learn your equipment, and that's before you go out. You gotta know what you're doing first. And you can just take 20 minutes, 30 minutes of your day, of your time each day. I'm pretty sure you become a good DJ. And also, you gotta know your people. You gotta know who you're playing for. You know, because when you're DJing for 26 different people. I mean, like backgrounds, you know. You don't know, like this, say this teenagers, they just turned 19, the first time at the bar, you know, that group can be there. Or some people having their anniversary, you know, couples, you know, in their late 30s, things like that. So you gotta go, okay, they're here for that. What kind of music they were young, they were listening to? You know, you gotta go back a little bit 80s, because and that's what it takes. It's a playground, pretty much. To become a DJ, it's just like, it's a playground. It's like you're playing a basketball. Equipment, there's many equipments out there for DJing. But first I was using Virtual DJ, it was easy program, but after I see myself as a pro, you can say that, so I decided to upgrade. So I upgrade to Native Instrument, which is Tractor S4. I love that. I love that tractor. It's really good. So I become, you know, I bought it like 3-4 years ago, and since then I keep using it. I love it. I'm still learning it, even though I had it for a long time, and I'm still learning it. So I also have Tractor Controller F1. And what is that? Probably you're wondering, what is that for? Basically, Tractor F1 is for sample loops if you want to kick in some party mode, you know. The biggest change for me is the culture. The culture become way different. Where I'm from is way different in life. And that's probably, I wasn't expecting that, but I think that's what it is. Each country got their own ideals of life. In Canada got different ways, even though some of them are similar, but it's way bigger. It's big change for me. I do have a reason to move back to Africa. For one reason, I miss I miss the whole continent. I miss eating the mango from the tree, fresh. You know. I love to go back in, but now I got two countries, so I love to go back, visit, and come back here again. I'm pretty sure if I go there, I'm gonna miss the snow. I'm sorry I'm saying this, but it become part of me.
It can be very difficult for newcomers to adapt new life, new friends, new weather, new school, new food, and new culture in Canada. But for some people, they love it here, and they feel it is worth the extra effort.